So today I wanted to talk about something really basic. So if you're already a cellist, you probably know this, but if you're new to the cello, maybe you're just taking up the instrument, I wanted to talk today about the cello bow hold. If you play another string instrument, the cello bow hold is different than the bow hold for the violin and the viola and also for the bass. So it is kind of its own thing, and it's really great even if you're switching from another string instrument to get an idea of how to hold the cello bow hold. If you're new to holding bows altogether, it will definitely be an adjustment, but doing it with good technique is really worth it. Most of the videos on my channel are on my historical baroque cello, which has a different bow and a different bow hold. For this video, I'm just talking about the regular modern cello and how to hold the bow for that instrument. I like to start preparing for the bow hold by making this little fox, or bunny, or whatever you want to call it. So put two of your fingers up and the other two together in the center. So I take this shape and then I round out the mouth of the animal here. So I make sort of a circle shape. And I've got my second finger, which is my middle finger, and my third finger, which is my ring finger, in the center touching the thumb. So once I get this shape, then I'm going to take my bow and kind of use this shape to inform how I'm going to hold the bow. So now I have the bow here. I've got the frog, the square end, and I've got my bunny fox with the rounded mouth. And I'm just going to put the bow in the mouth of this animal. So what I'm doing is I'm putting the thumb across from this silver piece down here at the bottom. Thumb's coming on this side. I've got this clear grip here on my bow, but most bows you won't see that. You'll just have maybe a little piece of leather and then some wrapping in silver. But for this silver piece on the frog, it's going to be where our thumb goes across. And like we were with the animal, the second and third fingers are going to be across from that thumb. So I like to start by putting the thumb here and then wrapping my second finger around to touch the silver on the other side. So I've got the thumb here and then second finger on the other side touching the silver. I don't like to let my fingers go past the bow because I don't have as much control that way. So I just try to get that last pad of my finger touching right here on the silver with the thumb across from it. The third finger, the ring finger, can just sympathetically come down next to it, and the pinky, the fourth finger, can do the same. With the first finger, the pointer, we're actually going to wrap this a little bit and grip onto the bow. This finger is going to give us a lot of control once we're actually using the bow. So I like to think that the bow hold is really happening with the first finger gripping, the second finger coming straight down to the silver, and then the thumb being bent on the other side. So I can actually hold the bow with just those three fingers. Not easy, but these other fingers are just going to be relaxed and straight, sympathetically holding on. When I play on my baroque bow, which you'll notice in my videos, I play with the pinky on top of the stick, which is more like a violin bow hold. But for the modern cello, we let the pinky, for the most part, just come down like this. So one of the hardest aspects of the bow hold is the bent thumb. It's super important to have this knuckle bent, and when it's done properly, you can see there's actually a circle here in the hand. We don't have the finger pressed in that way because it creates a ton of tension all throughout the hand muscles and even through the arm. So even though it's difficult, bending the thumb is absolutely crucial for a good bow hold. So once you feel like you got the grip down, there are a lot of exercises and things you can do to get your hand used to this position, because the difficult thing about it is really just getting your muscles to get used to this position. So rather than rushing to play on your cello right away, it's great to do this bow hold exercise just with the bow alone. So one exercise that I really like, put your bow out straight in front of you with your perfect bow hold and slowly lower the hair to the floor and the stick to the floor. You don't want to do this fast, because it's actually easier when it's fast. You want to go slow because it forces your hand muscles to really get used to that position and make sure there's a good grip on the bow. And while you're doing this, you want to be policing yourself, making sure that your hand's not moving around, that your thumb's not pushing in, but that everything is staying round on the thumb side, that these fingers are straight, and just give yourself some time for your hand to get used to holding the bow this way. Every teacher and cellist is going to have a slightly different approach to the bow hold and a slightly different idea of what the correct bow hold is. There really is no one absolute answer. There are a lot of different schools of thoughts with some overlap, but this is how I teach the modern bow and how I play the modern bow myself. If you're new to the cello, there are a lot of great resources on YouTube, but I also really encourage you to look into getting a teacher for yourself. Nothing can really replace having one-on-one instruction, especially with an instrument so difficult like the cello. Feel free to leave your questions. If you're new to my channel, I mostly specialize in Baroque music and historical instruments, so you'll find lots of information about the early cello and the repertoire that was played. If you're looking for personal instruction, I do offer Skype lessons, and there's more information on that in the description of the video. Thanks so much for watching. Feel free to explore the other videos on my channel and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. If you'd like to help support me in the production of these videos, you can become my patron on Patreon. See you next time.